We are back at Fontana Dam, as you can see, and we are hiking our way up to the campground, and we are going to camp there tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to hike to the NOC. I realized that it was only 2 months ago that we did this before, and now we're back because we've got time, and why not take advantage? Sariah is starting a new job in July, so her availability for vacations and whatnot is going to be limited for a little bit. So she doesn't start until the 15th, so we're taking full advantage of that time. We're going to get out here and we're going to hike the section that we didn't do last time. And hopefully we don't stop halfway through and quit like we did last time. I mean, the only difference is what we're doing this time is instead of getting shuttled to NOC and hiking back to Fontana, we're going to hike from Fontana to NOC. So we're going southbound for this little section. See how that goes. But it is the end of June. Tomorrow's Sunday. And then it's going to be like the beginning of July. And then we're going to be hiking in some of the most strenuous sections of the AT in 80-degree heat. So, and based on the climb just up the sidewalk here, you can tell how much of a struggle it's going to be. Sariah's there, and I'm wearing my Stratus because we're packed a little light this time. We're not taking the full gear because of the heat. So I didn't have enough. I had way too much room in my Exos, you know, and a bunch of empty space. So busted out the old Stratus, loaded that up, and figured that'll work. But it's been 6 years since I've hiked with the Stratus, and I'm learning real quickly it's heavier than my Exos, and functionally it's just a little off, but it'll work. There's that. Last time we were here there was like hardly any green on the trees, and now it's pretty covered, so we should at least be clear of the open sun, one would hope. But it's like, what's it, 7 o'clock? Yeah. 7:30, so it's getting close to sundown, and we are starting them out tomorrow, and then we get to NOC Tuesday, what we're planning, and then we're going to get shuttled back here, pick up our Jeep, and then we may camp here that night. But Wednesday we are heading to Bryson City for breakfast, and then we're going to head back to the NOC and go whitewater rafting. It'll be my first time whitewater rafting in my life. I'm super jacked, can't wait. Should be a blast, and we'll see how that goes. I obviously can't video any of it because I don't want to lose my phone and you know the rapids. But I will relay the experience to you, maybe. Well, here we are at Fontana Shelter. It's pretty late. It's like 9:15, and we have to sleep in the shelter because we don't have anywhere up at the campsite to hang our hammocks and put up our tarps. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting night considering we don't really sleep in shelters. We don't have pads, and we're just going to have to make do. So tomorrow's probably going to be, we're going to be grumpy Gus's. But we'll see. We may get a really early start. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. We're getting ready to start. We just spent the night in that uncomfortable thing. And now we're going to hit the trail. First time sleeping in a shelter in a long time. And I made it work. It's all right. I mean, it could have been better, but it is what it is. But people are sleeping here, so we're going to take it on the trail. Well, you can't really see. I don't know what's going on with my phone, but it is, it's pretty dark. I mean, it's like 6 in the morning. Okay, now I can see. We have left Fontana Dam shelter, and we are making our way to the NOC. And it's pretty dark when you're in the thick of it. But we wanted to get a really early start because we want to get ahead of the heat. It is like a dark jungle. Kind of a different experience. Not really. I mean, kind of. We've gotten an early start. Well, no, I don't think we've ever gotten this early of a start before. I mean, I did on the river, but I don't think we have on the AT. I'm going to get pelted in the head. I said I'm going to, with all the stuff that's fallen out of the trees. We have a lot of elevation to do this trip. I think it's over 11,000 feet of ascent and 11,000 feet of descent. So we got a lot. Over 29 miles, so this is going to be the most elevation we've done in this short of a span. And unlike last time when we were doing it and the highs were in the 70s, the highs this time are going to be in the 80s, potentially 90s. So that's going to be fun. We were sweating like crazy last night. It took a long time for us to get acclimated. But then it got to a point where I stopped sweating, things cooled down, and I felt a lot better. But I was a sweaty mess there for a while. But I think now that our bodies are acclimated to the temperature, it's not going to be that bad going forward. Well, the heat's going to be bad, but just sweating for no reason. Oh, she's already sweating, but... I swear the camera never does this justice. It's just so much more, it's so much bigger and more grandiose in person. And this, just like all I notice is the trees in the foreground. But here we are, I think at the marina. So I don't know exactly where we go from here. Looks like there's a bathroom up there, yeah. Huh. I don't see anything. This is southbound, by the way. In case I forgot to mention that before. Okay, we're taking a little break here. I'm sweaty, as you can see. I got some water from the sink here at the marina, and I'm going to camel up because we're going to be sweating like crazy. And I think we're about to start a climb out of here. So we will see how that goes. I'm starting to think this wasn't a great idea. It may be too hot for us, but we're going to find out.
Lots of breaks.
Yeah.
We started early. We can take lots of breaks.
What, this? From the road?
People first coming into Fontana.
Oh. Look, I'm shooting what everyone else shoots. Yeah. Yellow Creek Gap. Why does it say 6.4?
No.
I thought it was further than that. Oh well. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't where I was. There was a shelter beyond Yellow Creek Gap. I was saying we could Cody shelter. It's what we're aiming for. May look a little foggy, but that's because everything I have is moist, and it is a brutal uphill from the Fontana Marina. We just checked the elevation chart, and it's a monster. So, and we're not even a quarter of the way up yet, and if we're already like super winded and super wet, so it's going to be a long haul to get out of here. Long road out of hell, green hell. Whew. You have to forgive the haziness of the video. Everything I have and everything I am is drenched. There's Sariah. I came up to that. It's kind of like a cave, but it's just like a bunch of rocks that fell into one another. Found some more caves, kind of. Be a nice shelter for sleeping if you're caught in the rain, or a place to just tuck into the rain. Whew. We're only a little bit we're just like 3 miles south of Fontana Dam shelter, so we're slow going, making our way. Very, very hot, very sweaty. I'm finding it very hard to do video because my phone is completely drenched. So is my body, my hands, my hair, everything, my clothes. So, yeah. This is about the best it's going to be for a while, because when I put it back in my pocket and get back out, it's going to be wet again. So, enjoy. Another climb. This is a huge climb. All right, we're taking a break. It's like 10, almost 10, something like that. And we are whipped. We're not even to the top yet. We found this little place, and it's just like, all right, I'm gonna chill. We got about 0.4 miles to water. I'm gonna drink up here, and then we're gonna get there, fill up, camel up, probably take a lunch, because I need some energy. I've been sweating out literally everything. Okay, we are near the top of the peak, and we're pretty tired. We stopped and got some water, and we've got about 3.6 miles before we come to water again, but we're both carrying 3 liters, so we should be fine. Taking in the breeze while we're up here. It's been a challenge. I would have taped more, but I've been so sweaty that my phone's starting to act up. And I didn't know if I was going to destroy my phone with all my sweat. My clothes I'm drenched head to toe. Like, I'm completely covered in sweat. It's like I jumped in a pool and then put my pack on. So it's been an experience, let me tell you. And while it's nice and breezy up here, by the time we get back down to that gap, it's probably going to be nice and toasty. So, but we still got a little bit more up to do, and then it's downhill for a while. And then we got to climb to Cody's shelter after we get past the Yellow Creek Gap. And I think that's where we're camping for the night. That'll be 10 miles for us today, and I don't think we can push ourselves any further than that. I really don't. I think we've done 4.5 miles already, and we're feeling it hardcore. If we don't start going down here pretty soon, I don't know if we're gonna have the energy to do 10 miles, so we'll see. We were just commenting on how there hasn't been anyone else out here on the trail so far that we've been out here, and we, just as I said that, a lady and her little chihuahua passed us, and that's the first person we've seen. on this section. So, but it is like, you know, the last day of June, I think. Isn't today the last day of June?
I think so.
So tomorrow's July.
Gas goes up tomorrow.
And I don't think anybody hikes this section in July. We're just crazy and stupid. You can see the overgrowth. It's crazy how much the trail is overgrown. We're not used to it being like this, but we're making do. Sorry, I'm only filming while I stopped, but I am so covered in sweat that this thing would just be destroyed if I tried to walk in tape. So
Also, we may look miserable, but we are having a good time. It's just really hot and we're really tired. But other than that, it's been enjoyable. It's been very peaceful, especially since there's really not been but the one person that we've seen out here. So we pretty much have the trail to ourselves. Not a lot of getting off trail to let people by and stuff like that. So it's been nice and quiet.
yeah, get a more flattering angle.
I don't know that I have a flattering angle.
This is flattering compared to the side view profile. Okay, we are at Cable Gap Shelter. We just took a break, filled our water from that stream over there, that little thing right there. And now we got to make our way up, and then we go up and over to get to Yellow Creek Gap, and then we start our ascent to Cody Shelter, or Cody Gap, or whatever it is, and that's where we're going to be spending the night, and that'll complete day 1 of section height 5 in reverse. So we'll see you we'll see you when we see you. Okay, we're at Yellow Creek Gap, which is basically just a highway. And yeah, we came down from the last gap, which I can't remember the name of. Cable.
No.
Yeah, it was it. Something cable. Stone cable. I don't know, something like that. But this is the last gap before we head to Cody. And that's going to be all uphill. So we're preparing for that. This is what it looks like, in case you're wondering. I can see the blazes. But yeah, so the next stop is Cody, and that's where I will pick this up unless we see something, but I highly doubt we will because we haven't seen anything this whole trip. So later. Well, I didn't tape anything at camp tonight because we had just finished eating. These people came up to our camp and was like talking to us about stuff, and we got in a conversation with them, and then out of the goddamn blue, the sky opened up. We didn't have our tarps up yet, and now my hammock is completely wet. Sarai's hammock's completely wet. All of our stuff's completely wet. My pack is completely wet. I just put dry clothes on and they're wet now. Fuck. My dry socks in my pack are wet now. Every article of clothing I have now is wet. Every single article of clothing. This couldn't have gone worse. It just opened up out of the blue. And we were rushing to get and while we were putting up our tarps, like both Sariah and I had complications. Like our stuff was just knotted up like crazy. I don't know what the hell happened, but it took forever to get our tarps up, and then I got mine unfurled and I threw it over my hammock and helped Sariah. But then when I came back, I realized that my tarp was on the other side of my ridge line, and my hammock was fully exposed to the rain. And God, it was done deal at that point. My pack was completely exposed to the rain. I mean, it just literally, like, 1 second it was fine, blue skies, and then the next minute it was pouring rain. You can still hear the rain. It rained earlier, but it was like a sprinkle. It wasn't a downpour. I'm getting dripped on because this bag is completely wet. Fuck. I'm gonna freeze to death tonight. I'm going to freeze to death. This will be the last recording of John Plunkett because I'm going to freeze to death tonight. Okay, here we are Monday morning, gathering up our wet stuff, getting ready to attack the next day, which, I don't know. We're debating on it being an 8.5 mile day or an 11 mile day, but we're taking a giant gamble if we go beyond 8.5, because we know that at 11 is I don't know, Chioa bald or something like that, and balds are useless to us because there's usually no trees up there. So we'd have to find between 8.5 and 11, which is like what, 2.5 miles between those two, the gap before then and the and Chioa Gap or Chioa Bald. We would have to find just an outcropping or like a little camp place or whatever, a little clearing, and we don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to be going uphill the whole time, so the likelihood of us finding anything is, I don't know. But every time we come to a gap or every time we come to like a fucking, I don't know, different areas, we always find like little campsites right before or right after. So, but we don't want to do 11 miles. 10 pushed it so hard yesterday, and we're gonna have the same heat. Actually, it's gonna be worse today because our shit is entirely wet. I mean, we are wet to the bone. I was sweaty wet, but everything in my pack was still dry, but now everything in my pack is wet from last night's rain. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to do 11. But well, I guess we'll see as we go. Here's the view from the top of a lookout just after Hog Shelter or Hog Pen Gap or whatever. We were making our way to somewhere. I can never remember the names of these places, but yeah, it's pretty nice, especially with the clouds. Here we are at Brown Fork Gap Shelter, and we are trying to dry out our stuff. Sariah's over there doing her hammock and tarp, and I got my hammock there and my tarp over there, my rain jacket. We're just trying to get some stuff dried out, get some water out of it, make our pack lighter. Taking a break, let my feet dry out because my shoes are also wet, and my socks are wet, and everything's wet. So we're hoping we got a lot of elevation ahead of us, so, and we're only doing 8.5 today, so we got time to kill. So we're gonna make it easier on ourselves, try to avoid blisters and kind of get this stuff dry if we can. I mean, we can only do what we can, but it is what it is. All right, we're almost to Stokoa Gap. This is a little steep little downward trajectory for some power lines. So you can see coming up to here. There's Sariah, she's scared to death. But yeah, we're pretty close to Stokoa now. I know I haven't been doing much taping, but that's because of sweat and the strenuousness of the trip. Here is the construction reroute right outside Stokoa Gap that we gotta do, where they're blasting. They just told us to hold up for a second so they could do a blast. And now we're clear to make our way through. This is what we're trying to do fast. I don't know how far down we gotta go to get to Stokoa, but hopefully not too far because the sun sucks. Later. After searching for a while and a long trek, I finally found the water. Jeesh. So I'm gonna pull what I can, and this is Stokoa. And with all the construction, I wasn't sure where the water source was, but I found it. And it is flowing. So I'm gonna pull water and hike it back up. Got ourselves a cave here, shortly outside of Stokoa. Several hundred feet up from the ground. Oh, I bet you'd find a bear in there, or two. Oh, well, onward and upward. Well, we are at camp. I got my hammock up. Sariah's got her hammock up. She's looking for a bear bag. We are at, oh Christ, I don't know where this place is. It's on the sign over here, I think. Locust Cove Gap. There you go. So we went 8.5 today, which is fine because of the amount of elevation we had, and leaves us with 10.7 tomorrow, but it's mostly downhill, so it should be good. But this is our last night here, and then we'll have completed the Fontana to NOC route. We're not going to make a fire. We never make a fire. So, yeah, I'm just chilling, eating dots. Dots they're this. Pretzel twists. And oh, they're so good. I'm going to take them every time we go hiking now because they're just so good. But I haven't been taping very much because it's been a strenuous trip. And I've been sweating like crazy. And I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but we make it through. It's funny because my whole demeanor changes when we're on the trail. I'm in a much more of a sour mood, or kind of a zombie sort of mood. Wow. Hold on a second. Sorry, that was bothering me. It's like I just got crap all over the lens. So, but once I get off my feet and have a chance to relax and whatever, my mood improves tremendously. I was telling Sariah before we ever got here that I wanted to hike from the NOC to Fontana, so we could then decide if we wanted to, because we got the whole week to just push on if we wanted. That would no. This is it. Summer hiking is always like it's an iffy proposition for us, and summer hiking the AT may seem like a terrible idea, but it actually hasn't been too bad. I mean, yeah, I sweat a lot, but I always sweat a lot. I just sweat more than normal. That's why when we got rained on, it didn't bother me as much as it should have, because I was already soaking wet, and almost everything in my pack was already soaking wet from my sweat. So it's like, actually my sweaty stuff was getting cleaned by the rainwater. So, but I mean, it's been all right. It's challenging. The heat hasn't been that bad. I mean, it was up into the 90s before we got here, but it's been like low to mid 80s. So not too bad at all. It was especially cool all morning. It didn't turn 80 until like 2 or 3. So we didn't really get the heat until like the very final couple of miles. So you couldn't ask for better. Tomorrow we're not going to be so lucky, but we're mostly going downhill. The first 2.5 miles up to Cheoah or whatever it is, Bald, it's going to be a little brutal. I think it's like 1,500 feet or something like that. And then, but we've only got 3,200 feet of elevation to do tomorrow. So that's like almost half of the whole thing. Once we get past Sassafras and up that will be well over half. So I think we'll be pushing into like only having 900 feet or so after that, which is just like most of it's downhill as you're going down to NOC. So it's just like little ridges where you go up, where you make up that extra like 900 feet or whatever. So it shouldn't be too bad. We're hoping that even though it's going to be a 10.7 mile day, that we will get out of here by 4:30. We got here at 4:45, I believe. I know it's 8.5 mile day, but we also took an hour lunch at whatever that gap was, or that shelter. And we had to wait at Stokoa for a long time because we had to wait there because they were blasting. And then I had to go get water because we needed water. So I had to go down the road and do that whole thing. And water is flowing good. Water's been all right. It's a little bit more scarce than it was when we came in November and they said it was dry. This section's pretty dry. It's hard to find stuff. So be mindful of that. But the overgrowth's been kind of crappy. The bugs have been all right. The bugs haven't been too bad. I mean, I really haven't been bothered by them. They fly around your head, but they don't really engage or bite you. So, but they just kind of fly around. They don't land on you. At least I haven't noticed if they landed. So it's tolerable. And, just the sweat. But overall, I say it's been all right. Can't complain. More tomorrow. Sorry. Well, it's 6:09 Tuesday morning. This is our last day. And I'm breaking down camp. Sariah's already gone. In an unprecedented move, she told her to go without me and told her I'd catch up to her, and I will, but I don't know, I may have to poop. But I'll still catch up to her. But yeah, it's our final day. It's still kind of dark, but we're getting a really early start today. So we'll see how things go. Still making my way up out of the gap. I don't know how far I've gone, but I still haven't caught up to Sariah. I gotta take a break. I'm winded. So I'm gonna take a little break and then catch up to her. Well, we just had our first ever bear sighting on the AT. It was right here. It was up the trail a little bit. It was just sitting there, I think.
No, he was walking this way.
Oh, he's walking this way?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was a person at first walking up this way.
Yeah, so did I. When I looked up and then I saw, it was like...
Yeah. As soon as I seen it out, I knew it was a bear.
It was just a black mass. It was like, and I saw it as it was heading away.
It wasn't a little one.
No, it wasn't. It was a big, full-grown bear. That was our first bear sighting. So,
Whew.
another first on this trip. That's crazy.
You should go in front.
We're just giving it a little time right now. I guess I'm going in front now.
Well, you're bigger than me.
Yeah. But it walked, I mean, it went the other way.
Yeah, as soon as I said, hey, bear, it turned around.
Yeah, so it doesn't want to mess with us. So we should be good. All right, moving on. Still climbing our way up. No more bear sightings, but the excitement we got off that one carried us pretty far. Now it's wearing off. And I don't know how far left we got to go, but we've done a lot of climbing, so hopefully not too far. I'm on shaky ground. So, yeah, just a quick update. We're pretty close to the bald now. We're probably in the last climb up there. This campsite right over there.
What's that say?
Huh? NOC Highway 74, 0.8 miles, or 8.8 miles. So,
8 miles to go.
Sassafras Gap is 1.5. I guess we could have hiked to here last night.
Yeah.
we were wondering if there was a place where we could throw up hammocks close to Chioa Bald, and we didn't want to take the chance, and we didn't, but we missed out. So if you're a hiker, if you're a hammocker, that looks like there's some pretty good trees in here. They might be too close though. Let me go take a survey. Well, it's pretty dense. Assuming you're the only one who's up here. I mean, if it's just you're just a single, between here might work. These two. There's not enough room between these two, and that tree's in the way. If you wanted to throw a tarp up, it's kind of tricky. But between these two over here, the one in the distance and this one that I'm standing right next to, you'd have that squirrely, loopy tree in the way, but you could still run your hammock. The rest of these are too short. I don't know, here to there may work. That branch would be in the way, but that might work. I don't know, there's options. I mean, a single hammocker, and I think it goes back there further too, so. Single hammocker, sure. Two hammockers, dicey. All right, back to the climb. We're just past Sassafras Gap. Here's a campsite at the top of the peak that you get to right after Sassafras. And looks like there's some possibilities for hammock camping. You got long enough line. We could definitely have hammock there. There's another spot down here. We're waiting to get to the Big Up or whatever it's called, and there's supposed to be water there, so hopefully there is, because we're down. But I know I'm down to my last liter. We got 6 miles left to go, so hoping and praying there's water there. Okay, it might be a little hazy, but it's because my phone's a little moist. We are just past the jump up at the water source there. Sarai's filling her Seanock. It's a very, 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 very limited flow.
I'm not even gonna do a full thing.
She's not even doing a full thing.
It hurts my back to.
I don't blame her.
I might get more if I need it,
But I'm gonna have to jump up here soon and do it too, so I guess I shouldn't dilly-dally. We haven't really been. I missed. I guess I should. There was someone at Chioa Bald, so we didn't tape there. So a girl named Tara who's doing a through hike. So we talked to her for a little bit. Got to see the view, and then just made our way downhill. And it's been pretty much down this whole way. We've done 6.5 miles. We still got 4 miles to do. 4.1, 4.2, and then we're done. And we should blast through that in about 4 hours. At this pace, maybe even sooner, with it all being downhill. I mean, if it starts to get really steep, because we came into some really steep downhills, but I mean, other than that, it's been all right. A tough section, very tough section. And I couldn't imagine hiking up from the NOC to Chioa. That's just coming down, it was like intense, and we still got more downhill to go, so that goes to show you. So all right, we'll pick this up the next area we can, or the NOC, one of the two. Here's a little section after that water. Looks like we're going up again. It's not all downhill, but I knew we had some elevation. Man, sorry. Trying to clear that off, but it's never truly gets clean. Let me try this. Oh, it's a little There, that's better. This is the first real elevation we've had in a while. Sariah's up ahead. I'm going slow because I'm out of it. But we only got 4 miles, 4 hours, whatever to go. So, and that's it. We'll be back at the NOC, ready to go back to our Jeep. We are at a spring 2.7 miles north of Nantahala. It's down there. We've already got water, so we're not going to get it. But yeah, trek is coming to a close. It's only taken, half our life. It's starting to get hot, so we're going to keep going on. Because, man, the longer it takes, the hotter it gets. So, later. All right, here we are at Right Gap. Coming down to the road. And then we make our way up, it looks like, for like the final little stretch of our ascent before it's all downhill from there. And it looks a little steep. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Well, here we are at the final ascent for the day. This is that water source that is unreliable. So we've only got like 0.3 miles left to do, and then we'll be to Nantahala. So let's get it done. And here we are, coming down the steps. Holy shit. To the NOC. It took a while, but we got here. Oh, now it's time to do something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Man, there's a lot of people here. A lot more people than last time. Okay, so here we are at NOC. We're waiting on our shuttle, and we should be out of here momentarily. So, thanks for watching.